We've all seen it on all the real estate Facebook groups, on all of the new agent trainings we've ever been to. Where should I get leads? Should I buy leads from ... The answer is no. Stop buying leads. This is something that has increasingly got harder and harder to build a business. Certainly there are people that are excellent at it, but they are dedicated to that lead source. And if anything changes, your business is gone like that. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about the secret that top producers aren't sharing with you next. What's up, guys? Jeremy Kane, Real Estate Agent Playbook. This is one that's near and dear to my soul. I have bought very few leads, especially from these massive marketing platforms that are out there, trying to take your money and under the guides of, building your real estate business, getting off to the right start. If you like what you hear, I have content like this all the time. My goal is to help you win every single day at the game of real estate. Please like, comment on any video. I love the back and forth discussion. Even if you disagree with me, throw it down there. Let's have a conversation. I promise I won't bite. And please subscribe to the channel if you like this stuff, as well as share the podcast. We are on audio, so you don't get in that car accident driving down the road if you like what I say. Share this with another real estate friend. We're trying to grow that community as well and just be an ultimate resource for you to help you win every single day at the game of real estate. So let's get into this one, right? Where should I buy leads? Where should I get leads? How do I start my business? This is something that I have actually created a course around. Right? My whole goal is to teach all of my agents in my organization how to fish for absolutely free. However, I am bringing a course to the general public. If you're not able to be in my organization for whatever reason, you will have the availability starting in April to purchase this course, right? And I'm going to teach you how to fish versus handing you, a nice platter with a cooked up fish so you can take a bite, because we all know that costs money and the preparation costs a ton of money. Essentially, I've equated this to, if you are an agent who is buying leads, you are technically an employee of that person, whoever you're buying the leads from, whether it's Zillow, Realtor, OpCity, Redfin. Certainly you say, well, I don't have to pay for the leads. I just have to pay 40% when I sell. Well, that's a massive difference, right? You could sell 2 houses with that setup to one that you self-generate, right? And so as we kind of break this down and go through it, certainly, sometimes you're like, okay, I got to be on this team, right? I hate that as well. Like, you don't have to be on a team. You got your real estate license because you're an entrepreneur, because you're a free thinker. Like, let's build this, right? But the longer that you are relying on that team, or you're on the Zillow drip, or you're on all of those things, the longer that you're going to be stuck in the same, rat race that you were before, where, pretty much you're an employee of that lead source. And so we want to make that not happen. I know that it's possible because I have become a top producer, top 5 in the state of Colorado at all of the brokerages I've ever been at, year over year. And I have paid for very little leads. I have dabbled in some Facebook leads, whatever, but very few of my leads or closings have come. Actually, one has come from a paid ad out of close to 500. So that's where I want to help you get into this. And as I always talk about, the return on investment, when you're talking about a 1% or less return on investment for your leads, and leads are costing $7, $8, $9, $5,000 if you're talking about some of the pay at closings, the return on investment is very limited, right? And there is 2 different sides of that. Obviously, the prepay stuff where, maybe you're paying a place called, Set Schedule, that is giving you leads, or, providing you a text message that says hot lead. And then this person, you call this person, they say, yeah, that was 2 years ago. I've purchased a house and I still get calls based on that lead. You're buying old leads no matter what you're doing, with the exception of Zillow, but then you're picking up your phone. And I've seen time and time again, people on Zillow leads, there are very few that are very good at the conversion, but even the ones that are very good at the conversion have a very low conversion rate. And a lot of times, if you're not very good at it and you don't have the skills, you're spending more money on gas driving around servicing these leads than is actually coming in after you close a deal. So it's of my opinion that you should probably invest in a good CRM instead of paying for leads, because if you can have that money go towards a CRM where you can stay top of mind, you can plan it all out. It doesn't have to be automated. Automation is, neither here nor there. But if you have a well-organized machine, then you can drive all of these conversations you have, because even a lead isn't a conversation yet. Once you have a conversation, they can go into your database and you can continue to follow up. You can keep the notes. So you seem like that person that you had that conversation with 2 years ago because you took notes on it. You're, the greatest, you have the greatest memory on the planet. No, you just have a CRM that's helping you remember that conversation, remember those pain points, remember what you talked about, so that it's not a constant, first meeting with that Zillow client of yours where you're like, hey, look at the house, let me know what you think, sitting on your phone. And then, next thing you know, they're like, okay, we're done. And they either leave, call their agent, say, hey, this crazy agent just showed me this house, but we're ready to write an offer. Or, they go down the rat race of, oh yeah, we want to buy it, but not right now. We're going to rent or whatever. So you have to understand that those conversations that you take from that are massive. And as humans, we have more and more conversations every single day than we even are aware of, right? And so if you can be ultra dedicated to building certain, areas where you have these conversations and pulling these people's information and keeping notes about it, then you can absolutely utilize your CRM to help you recount those communications. Not to mention that you say, hey, this person said they just signed a lease. I'm going to reach out to them in 6 months. I'm going to make a task. Boom, call this person. Hey, it's Jeremy. We talked at church, about 6 months ago. You said you signed a lease. I want to make sure that if you are able, you can get into home ownership because I know what it's done for me and my family. Would you be willing to go grab some coffee and talk about it? Right? So you take that conversation that you didn't even think was a lead, right? That they're not ready to buy, whatever. And then you plug it in your CRM. You have the task set up so that it tells you what's going on, and you can have that conversation. There is probably a 50 to 100% conversion rate on those kind of conversations because you took that note, because you set a task reminder for 6 months down the road or whatever, and now you remember it. I mean, I know that I talk to clients all the time and I say, okay, yeah, that sounds great. And then I'm like, okay. And then I see them on my list. I'm like, who was that? I click on the notes. I'm like, oh yeah, that was the referral that, was going to travel the world 6 months ago. And now they're coming into Colorado in June to look at a home, right? So that's the thing, is if you can start to capture all of your conversations, your free conversations, and plug them into a CRM and get organized, then those leads will come more fruitfully. And I will tell you that, sometimes it's a 6 to 18 month conversion. I will also tell you that even Facebook leads, right, that you pay for, that you set up, all of that have an 18 to 24 month conversion typically, because by the time they're clicking on Facebook, they're way far away from, where they need. Certainly that doesn't happen all the time, but from my guys that crush Facebook leads and do all of that, that's kind of what they're telling me. So don't give me leads are more immediate. That's not the case. You can find more immediate leads by doing traditional lead generation strategies where you own the leads, right? Most of the time it's your time, maybe a business card or a flyer or something that you hand out, door knocking, whatever. But that's absolutely the case. Now, we could go down the rabbit hole of social media, and I want you to hear me that I'm not talking organic social media, right? I can have organic conversations on my Facebook, on my Instagram through DMs, and plug those people into my CRM, which my new CRM plugs them in for me through those platforms. But if I'm able to do that, it really, really does make a difference keeping track of those conversations. And if I'm talking about looking for more conversations, I can go to any of these free platforms and have conversations with people that technically already know, like, and trust me. And that conversion skyrockets beyond the, below 1% for these internet leads. And ultimately, when you look at a conversation, it can expand, right? If you nurture that relationship and you're just there to build that relationship, I tell my agents all the time, go into every conversation with something to give, right? And I'm not talking about a gift. I'm not talking about this. I'm like, hey, I need to help people build their business on my vendor list, right? I'm a new agent, whatever. So when I'm talking to someone, I always ask them, what are you doing for work these days? Oh, I'm an electrician. Oh, sweet. I would love to help you build that business up, because I know that my clients, when they come to you, they first of all trust me, and I can trust you. So that's going to help you build your business. I've done this for HVAC companies, electricians, plumbers across the board. If they provide a good service for an equitable price, then bam, let's go. You're my buddy, right? And I'm going to drive you business until you cannot help but notice that Jeremy Kane, lender, whatever, he's driving me business constantly. And when the word real estate comes up, I'm associated with that because they're like, that's how he does it. He's a real estate agent. He has all these conversations. He must be really good at it. Boom. And then all of a sudden they're providing me leads, and I have a whole sphere of untapped potential because that person is out shouting my names from the rooftop because of what I did for them. So every conversation I go into, it's not about, hey, when are you looking to buy or sell? Typically, I don't even talk about that. I usually say, what do you do for work? They tell me if I can add to that, to their business through my business, community, hairstylist, whatever it might be, I can drive them business. If I have that opportunity, that's a gold mine for me because I'm going to drive them as much business as I can. We're going to have that, old school camaraderie, rekindle that relationship. They're going to love me, and they're going to help me build my business as well in the back end. And if they say, hey, I'm a, cold caller or telemarketer or whatever for this company, that's great. Do you have anybody that's helped you around the house or the community that that I can connect with? Because I'm trying to build a vendor list for my new real estate business, and I would love your input on that because I love helping people build their businesses, especially those small businesses. So you go into those conversations with that, the relationship's built, and you're off to the races. So ultimately, it's about those tools. It's about taking notes on what you're actually doing and having those conversations. And I promise you that if you do this over a Saturday when you're out with your kids, or you're out in the community doing something, out getting dinner, you can have 4 or 5 conversations, and that's better than answering that one Zillow call or sitting down and dialing those 50 Facebook leads that no one answers the call, or whatever that looks like. 5 conversations is worth every penny you would ever throw at any real estate marketing company or any ad spend. So I hope that helps you guys kind of understand that the true answer that the top producers are not telling you is that their lead generation comes from their sphere of influence, right? And if they, have done Zillow in the past or whatever, Zillow's changed a lot. They are so grateful that they're not on it. I've never talked to somebody who was on Zillow who, didn't say, I'm so glad I'm off of it, my business is so much better, and so on. Certainly, you have to prepare if you're getting off of, that kind of lead source. Your business better be prepared to launch and take off. And if you're waiting till you're off that lead source to build that business up, you're going to find yourself always going back. And it's kind of a cycle, just like the employment cycle that you're on. So I hope that helps. If you're going to ask me where to spend your money, that course that's coming out in early April will absolutely be for you. Comment Foundations course in the comments, and I will certainly send you the early access when I get that all figured out and done. But we're going to teach you how to fish. We're going to teach you how to win every single day at the game of real estate. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.